It was an unusually tense Monday morning at Centura Financial. Employees walked briskly through the polished marble lobby, nodding brief greetings and clutching their coffee cups tightly. A significant quarterly meeting was scheduled to begin at 9 a.m. sharp, and the nervous energy in the air was palpable. For Alicia Mitchell, a dedicated analyst who had been with the company for nearly 2 years, today was especially important. She'd spent countless late nights preparing a comprehensive presentation, meticulously reviewing data to make sure every detail was precise. Alicia was bright, ambitious, and meticulous. Her thoroughness had earned her respect among her peers, even though recognition from management was often elusive. As one of the very few black employees on the management floor, Alicia had long felt the additional weight of proving herself twice as capable as her colleagues. Still, she approached her work with quiet confidence and unyielding determination. As employees settled into the sleek, modern conference room, Alicia organized her papers and adjusted her laptop connection. At precisely 8:55 a.m., Richard Prescott, the firm's notoriously abrasive and demanding senior manager, strode into the room. His presence alone changed the atmosphere immediately. Employees straightened in their seats, casting nervous glances at each other. Richard had a reputation for being intimidating, dismissive, and even openly hostile at times. Though HR had quietly managed several complaints, his position of power shielded him from meaningful consequences. As the meeting commenced, Richard briefly reviewed the agenda with visible impatience, quickly delegating presentations and insisting everyone keep it short. Alicia's turn arrived swiftly. She stood calmly, took a deep breath, and began to speak. "Thank you. Today, I want to discuss the findings of my market analysis from the past quarter, which reveal significant opportunities to expand our presence in emerging financial technologies." Her voice was steady, professional, clear. On screen, well-designed slides displayed compelling data. Several colleagues nodded approvingly. Alicia moved through her presentation confidently until Richard abruptly interrupted. "Wait, stop right there," he barked sharply. Alicia froze momentarily but maintained her composure. Richard continued loudly, almost theatrically, "You're telling me we should invest in something based on your analysis? Alicia, I don't think you're qualified to make that kind of judgment. Maybe stick to simpler tasks." The room fell into stunned silence. Alicia felt a rush of heat rising up her neck, but she met Richard's aggressive gaze calmly. "My analysis is based on carefully vetted data confirmed by several senior team members," she replied evenly. Richard scoffed openly, leaning back arrogantly in his chair. "Listen, sweetheart, just because HR hired you to fill a quota doesn't mean you're ready to advise senior management. Leave strategic thinking to those with experience." The silence in the room was heavy, almost unbearable. Several employees shifted uncomfortably in their seats, their eyes averted. Alicia's heart pounded in her chest, but she refused to let Richard see her discomfort. Without another word, she quietly gathered her materials and sat down, maintaining her dignity even as humiliation flooded her. Richard continued the meeting as if nothing had happened, but the damage was done. Afterward, Alicia returned to her desk, working in silence. Her colleagues glanced sympathetically but said nothing, unsure how to react or offer support. By lunchtime, word of the incident spread rapidly through the office. Employees spoke in hushed voices near the coffee machines, exchanging looks of disbelief. Quietly, a junior employee, Adam, uploaded a secretly recorded video of Richard's harsh words to a private employee channel. Within hours, it had been viewed hundreds of times internally. As the day went on, messages of support quietly appeared in Alicia's inbox. Employees she barely knew sent simple notes of encouragement. "Stay strong. We're with you. I admire your professionalism." Richard was wrong, but Alicia remained silent, replying to none. She knew this was bigger than just her own humiliation. It was a test of the company's values, integrity, and its willingness to confront injustice openly. By the next morning, HR had scheduled an emergency meeting with Richard. Though employees knew little officially, rumors circulated swiftly. The atmosphere at Centura Financial shifted perceptibly. People spoke in hushed tones, awaiting the company's response. Richard, however, showed no immediate remorse. He returned from his meeting with HR unchanged, strutting arrogantly through the office as if invincible. Alicia felt a pang of frustration but maintained her composure, determined to remain professional despite the circumstances. Over the following days, however, subtle changes emerged. Colleagues who previously stayed silent began openly expressing discomfort about the incident. An internal petition quietly circulated, demanding accountability from senior leadership. It gathered hundreds of signatures rapidly. Meanwhile, Alicia continued working diligently, determined to let her professionalism speak louder than Richard's hurtful words. She refused to let bitterness or resentment affect her work ethic or attitude. Yet beneath her calm exterior, she watched carefully, waiting to see if justice would be done. Late Friday afternoon, Alicia received an unexpected call to the office of the company's CEO, Margaret Williams. As she walked toward Margaret's office, Alicia felt nervous but maintained her outward calm. Margaret greeted Alicia warmly, gesturing for her to sit. "Alicia, I want to first apologize for what happened during Monday's meeting. Richard's conduct was completely unacceptable." Alicia nodded politely. "Thank you. I appreciate your acknowledgement." Margaret continued sincerely, "We're committed to addressing this. Effective immediately, Richard Prescott will no longer hold his managerial position. The board agrees he violated the standards we hold most sacred here, respect and dignity." Alicia felt a wave of relief mixed with sadness, realizing the momentous impact her situation had caused. "I never wanted anyone to lose their job," she said softly. "I only wanted to be treated fairly." Margaret nodded with understanding. "Your professionalism under such difficult circumstances has inspired many here, Alicia. We'd like to offer you a leadership role focusing specifically on fostering a respectful workplace culture. We need your insight and strength more than ever." Alicia was momentarily speechless but quickly regained her composure. "I accept," she replied confidently. "Not just because of what happened, but because this change is long overdue." Over the following weeks, Centura Financial began a visible transformation. Policies were reinforced, training implemented, and employees were encouraged to speak openly about workplace culture. Alicia led by example, not seeking revenge, but determined to ensure no one else experienced what she had endured. Throughout the office, attitudes shifted positively. Employees previously afraid to speak up now felt empowered. Alicia became a quiet yet influential advocate, respected by colleagues and senior leaders alike. Even Richard, now relegated to a diminished role and humbled by his consequences, privately expressed regret, acknowledging Alicia's remarkable integrity. Months later, Alicia stood confidently before hundreds of colleagues during a company-wide town hall. She addressed the audience with clarity and poise. "Our strength as individuals and as a company comes from mutual respect and dignity. Today marks a new beginning. Let's commit to creating a culture where everyone feels valued, heard, and respected." The applause was genuine and heartfelt. Employees stood spontaneously, acknowledging Alicia's courage, professionalism, and dignity. From humiliation to empowerment, her journey had inspired profound, lasting change within Centura Financial, proving once again the quiet strength of dignity in the face of adversity. In the weeks that followed, Centura Financial's new direction became clear. Alicia dove enthusiastically into her new role, quickly establishing herself as a trusted advocate for fairness and respect. Her genuine and humble leadership style resonated with colleagues throughout the company, and soon she became a symbol of positive change. Alicia worked tirelessly, developing comprehensive training programs that focused not merely on mandatory compliance but on genuine empathy and understanding. She believed deeply in the idea that real change was only possible if every employee felt seen, heard, and valued, regardless of their position. Her initiatives quickly gained traction, receiving strong support from both staff and leadership alike. Meanwhile, Richard Prescott adjusted uneasily to his new reality. Now stripped of his authority, he spent his days confined to administrative tasks. At first, Richard showed resentment and bitterness, openly voicing his displeasure to those around him. Yet, gradually, the reality of his situation sunk in. Without his position of power, he began to realize the harm he had caused, not just to Alicia but to the countless employees he had belittled and dismissed over the years. One afternoon, Alicia found herself alone in the break room when Richard entered unexpectedly. She looked up startled, unsure how to respond. He hesitated, visibly uncomfortable. "Alicia," he began awkwardly, "I want to talk. Could you spare a minute?" She nodded cautiously, curious about what he had to say. "I wanted to tell you personally how wrong I was," Richard began, his voice filled with sincere regret. "Not just for what I said to you during that meeting, but for everything. For years, I treated people terribly, thinking authority gave me the right. You never deserved any of that. Alicia listened carefully, feeling a complicated mix of emotions. She recognized his sincerity but understood that real change required more than just words. I appreciate your apology, Richard, she finally replied calmly. But words alone won't undo the pain you've caused. True change comes from consistent action, from treating people differently every single day. Richard nodded slowly, absorbing her words deeply. I understand that now, he admitted. And I promise you, Alicia, I will prove that I'm capable of change. Over time, Richard's actions began to reflect his promise. He showed genuine humility in interactions with colleagues, willingly helping others and sincerely listening rather than dominating conversations. He attended every training session Alicia's team provided, quietly absorbing lessons that were once foreign to him. Slowly, colleagues started noticing a real transformation in the once feared manager. Alicia watched from afar, cautiously optimistic. She never sought revenge or humiliation for Richard, only genuine accountability. Witnessing his transformation provided unexpected hope, not just for Richard, but for the company's broader culture. Employees took notice, inspired by the possibility that even the most rigid and difficult people could evolve through humility and reflection. As Alicia's initiatives flourished, Centura Financial's reputation grew stronger externally. Industry peers began reaching out to learn from their example, inspired by Alicia's practical yet compassionate approach. Soon, Alicia found herself invited to speak at conferences and forums, always carefully emphasizing collective success rather than personal recognition. At one notable event, Alicia addressed a crowded auditorium filled with business leaders. Standing confidently at the podium, she spoke clearly and passionately. We often forget that behind every employee, title, and position is a human being deserving of dignity and respect. Change isn't about compliance. It's about compassion. At Centura, we learned this the hard way, but we learned. My hope is that our experience inspires every organization to proactively build a culture rooted in empathy, fairness, and respect for all. Her speech earned a heartfelt standing ovation. Alicia acknowledged the applause graciously, inwardly proud not of herself but of the collective effort her colleagues had made to create meaningful change. She had never sought to be a public figure, yet recognized that sharing their story openly could inspire similar transformations elsewhere. Back at Centura, tangible changes were evident every day. Employees openly expressed appreciation for the safer, more respectful workplace. Managers engaged proactively with their teams, actively encouraging open communication. Productivity increased significantly, driven by genuine employee satisfaction and morale. Margaret Williams, the CEO, praised Alicia's contributions publicly during company-wide meetings, emphasizing the cultural shift Alicia had so passionately championed. Alicia's courage and dedication transformed our organization, Margaret stated clearly. We owe her our gratitude, not just today, but every day. Privately, Alicia often received messages of gratitude from employees, many of whom she'd never directly interacted with. Each message reinforced her belief that one individual's dignity and courage could genuinely influence broader change. Months passed swiftly, and the company continued thriving under this new culture. Employee turnover dropped dramatically, replaced by loyal, dedicated staff committed to upholding the core values Alicia helped embed deeply within Centura's identity. One evening, as Alicia prepared to leave work, Richard approached her desk quietly. His expression was sincere, vulnerable, almost unrecognizable compared to the arrogant manager he once was. I know words can't erase what happened, Richard said softly. But I need you to know your courage changed my life. You showed me the kind of person I was and, more importantly, the kind of person I needed to become. Thank you, Alicia. She looked at him thoughtfully, recognizing genuine transformation in his eyes. Everyone deserves the chance to learn from mistakes, Alicia replied gently. What matters now is what you do next. Richard smiled slightly, nodding. I'll make it count. And he did. Richard continued his quiet journey of growth, eventually regaining genuine respect, not through fear, but through consistent humility and sincere actions. Employees came to trust his changed behavior, recognizing it as proof of the profound transformation Alicia's strength had inspired. One afternoon, the entire company gathered in the expansive lobby for an annual event celebrating achievements. Margaret Williams announced a special honor, the first-ever Integrity and Leadership Award. Alicia Mitchell exemplifies everything this award stands for, Margaret stated proudly. Her dignity, courage, and unwavering commitment to positive change have permanently reshaped our culture. Applause erupted spontaneously, enthusiastic, and heartfelt. Alicia approached the podium, touched deeply by the recognition but determined to emphasize collective efforts over her individual role. "I'm honored and grateful," she began clearly. "But this award belongs to all of us. Change isn't driven by one voice alone. It takes all of us every single day making choices rooted in respect and kindness. Let's continue building something we're truly proud of." Her words resonated profoundly. Employees rose spontaneously, expressing their sincere gratitude. Alicia had never intended to become a symbol or leader, yet her quiet dignity and unwavering integrity had genuinely transformed Centura Financial into a place where every employee felt valued, respected, and safe. In her heart, Alicia knew her greatest achievement wasn't the award or the recognition, it was knowing she'd helped create lasting, meaningful change. She had faced humiliation and adversity, yet emerged with strength and dignity, inspiring everyone around her to rise together toward a better, more compassionate future. In the aftermath of receiving the Integrity and Leadership Award, Alicia remained steadfastly humble. She never allowed accolades to alter her fundamental belief that meaningful change required daily commitment and sincere effort from everyone. Alicia's quiet strength had not only influenced her coworkers but had begun to reshape the broader business community, inspiring other companies to reconsider how they approached leadership, inclusion, and respect. Invitations to share her experiences continued pouring in from organizations eager to replicate Centura Financial's remarkable transformation. Alicia approached each opportunity thoughtfully, emphasizing the necessity of genuine commitment rather than superficial gestures. Her message was consistent: lasting cultural change required courage, empathy, and an unwavering dedication to fairness. At one high-profile industry conference, Alicia stood before an expansive audience of executives and leaders, carefully choosing words that encapsulated everything she'd learned through her challenging journey. "Respect isn't a privilege," Alicia began clearly, her voice resonating confidently throughout the auditorium. "It's a fundamental right necessary for every organization to thrive. When we marginalize or belittle others, we diminish our own potential. True leadership means elevating everyone, creating environments where individuals can flourish, innovate, and feel valued." Her speech garnered enthusiastic applause, followed by a spontaneous standing ovation. Executives approached Alicia afterward, moved deeply by her clarity, sincerity, and impactful message. Many expressed their determination to bring similar positive changes to their own companies, acknowledging that Alicia's experiences had opened their eyes profoundly. Meanwhile, within Centura Financial, Alicia continued strengthening internal initiatives focused on respect, inclusion, and genuine understanding among employees. Her team introduced robust mentoring programs, pairing experienced professionals with junior staff to encourage open communication, guidance, and mutual respect. Employees across every level praised these efforts openly, acknowledging the tangible improvements in company culture. One afternoon, Alicia received an unexpected visit from Richard. His demeanor was calm and respectful, nothing like the arrogant manager he'd once been. "Alicia, I have something important to share," Richard began softly. "After careful reflection, I've decided it's time for me to move forward. I've accepted a position at a nonprofit dedicated to workplace equality and diversity. It's an opportunity to help others learn from my past mistakes." Alicia listened quietly, genuinely moved by Richard's transformation. "I believe that's exactly where you belong," she replied warmly. "You've come a long way, Richard. I'm proud of you." Richard smiled humbly. "I owe you more than you know. You taught me that strength isn't in authority or dominance. It's in compassion, humility, and accountability." Richard's departure was met with quiet acknowledgement within Centura Financial. Employees respected his sincere transformation and recognized his genuine efforts to redeem himself. His legacy shifted from cautionary tale to inspiring example, proving meaningful change was possible even in those previously perceived as immovable. As months turned into years, Centura Financial flourished under its renewed culture of respect and empathy. Employee retention soared, productivity increased dramatically, and the company's reputation within the broader business community strengthened, significantly. Alicia's influence was felt everywhere, subtly embedded in each interaction, policy, and organizational decision. Margaret Williams, reflecting on the profound transformation Alicia had ignited, privately thanked her during a company dinner. "Alicia, you've transformed our entire organization, not through force, but through dignity, integrity, and unwavering compassion. Your impact here will never be forgotten." Alicia smiled warmly, genuinely touched by Margaret's sincerity. "Change takes courage from all of us," Alicia responded softly. "I'm proud of what we accomplished together." The following year, Alicia received an even greater honor. She was invited to join Centura Financial's executive board, becoming one of its youngest and most influential members. Initially hesitant, she accepted, recognizing the immense potential to create even greater positive change from within leadership. On her first day as a board member, Alicia stood before her colleagues, emphasizing her vision clearly. "I believe leadership isn't about power or authority. It's about inspiring others, creating environments built on trust, empathy, and mutual respect. Together, let's ensure every employee here, from the newest intern to our senior executives, knows they're valued, respected, and supported." Her words resonated deeply, reflecting Centura Financial's transformed identity. Board members applauded enthusiastically, embracing Alicia's vision wholeheartedly. Under her guidance, Centura became an exemplar of workplace ethics, diversity, and genuine respect, its influence extending far beyond corporate boundaries. Alicia's remarkable journey, from humiliation to empowerment, from quiet analyst to influential leader, became a legendary story within Centura Financial. New employees learned her story as an essential part of their orientation, a powerful testament to the organization's commitment to respect, dignity, and integrity. Throughout everything, Alicia remained steadfastly humble. Her genuine humility inspired loyalty, admiration, and profound respect from everyone around her. Employees viewed her not merely as a leader, but as a genuine mentor, advocate, and friend, someone who had walked through adversity with remarkable grace, resilience, and unwavering integrity. As Centura Financial continued thriving under Alicia's subtle yet powerful leadership, industry observers took notice. Media profiles celebrated her story, recognizing Alicia's quiet dignity as transformative. Yet Alicia herself remained focused solely on ensuring the continued well-being of her colleagues, understanding that genuine leadership involved humility, compassion, and sincerity rather than accolades or recognition. One evening, while reflecting quietly in her office, Alicia received an unexpected call. It was Richard, now thriving in his new role at the nonprofit. "Alicia, I just wanted to thank you again," Richard said sincerely. "I've never forgotten your kindness, wisdom, and courage. You've changed countless lives, including mine." Alicia smiled warmly, deeply moved. "Richard, your courage to change inspired me as much as I inspired you. Together, we proved genuine transformation is possible. That's something to celebrate." Their conversation was brief but profound, a meaningful reflection of everything Alicia's journey had symbolized. Through adversity, humiliation, and hardship, she'd emerged with profound wisdom and empathy, inspiring lasting change far beyond Centura Financial. Looking back, Alicia recognized the powerful lesson she'd learned clearly. True strength isn't measured by dominance, titles, or power. Instead, it's measured by dignity, resilience, and genuine compassion, even in moments when choosing kindness feels impossible. And in every interaction, decision, and conversation afterward, Alicia carried that lesson forward proudly, determined to build a world where dignity, respect, and compassion reigned supreme. Years later, at a grand celebration marking Centura Financial's anniversary, Margaret publicly honored Alicia's remarkable journey one final time. "Today, we celebrate more than corporate success," Margaret declared emotionally. We celebrate transformation, courage, and integrity. Alicia Mitchell showed us clearly that dignity and respect can reshape our world profoundly. Applause erupted spontaneously, genuine and heartfelt. Alicia stood humbly, acknowledging the recognition with graceful dignity. She knew this moment belonged not only to her, but to every employee who courageously embraced change alongside her. As Alicia stepped off the stage, she felt profound gratitude, not just for herself, but for the countless colleagues, friends, and strangers inspired by her journey. She'd faced humiliation and adversity, yet emerged stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Her story stood as powerful proof that even the most painful experiences could inspire profound, meaningful change, if faced with courage, humility, and unyielding dignity. In the end, Alicia's legacy became clear: a quiet, powerful lesson in dignity, resilience, and the genuine strength found only in compassion. At Centura Financial and far beyond, Alicia's courageous journey remained a lasting testament to the remarkable power of empathy, integrity, and quiet leadership. That concludes the story. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others. Your support is important. It helps us grow and bring you more powerful stories every week. Thanks for watching and have a great day.